Good morning and warm welcome all of you for this today's Do Big Conclave from Tata Tele Business Services. And on behalf of Mr. Chandrakant Salunke, Founder and President SME Chamber of India and Maharashtra Industry Development Association for this conclave, SME Manufacturer Summit, a new age for manufacturing technology. So I'll just brief you about what is Do Big Conclave. What is the motto of the Tata Tele Business Services behind this Do Big Conclave? It's basically a customer engagement and education initiative across all the cities, where industry leaders across business verticals convene to discuss how digital technologies are being used to deliver compiling products and services, connect faster with customers, and optimize costs. These thought leadership conclaves are an engagement platform for customers wherein, on a continuous basis, TTBS tries to understand their challenges and provide them with the relevant digital solutions to efficiently operate with limited capacity. Our digital solutions will enable you to efficiently operate in challenging situations to meet the ends of your customers and organizational needs. I am thankful to Tata Tele Business Services to giving this opportunity to organize this program, and I thankful to State Bank of India, Tata AIB Life Insurance, L&T Sufin, and representatives from Union Bank of India. They have accepted our invitation and they are here to share their thoughts with all the people. So basically, SME Chamber of India is a 30 years old organization. It's working for the development of MSME sector from the manufacturing industries, service sector and allied industries and other business sectors. The chamber has been forefront for the policy implementation, policy changes, and encouraging SMEs to avail the various incentives from the government schemes as well as the business and investment opportunities. The chamber organizes various activities to impart knowledge, skill, and scale, and provide the platform for promotional of the products and services, enhancement of the contact for business growth, utilization of unique marketing and branding facilities, advanced technologies for the improvement of capabilities, capacities and productivity, quality assurances, utilization of benefits and advantages of various government departments for domestic and export promotion. We have invited Sri Rajendra Nimbalkarji, Managing Director MSSIDC, Government of Maharashtra, to address us as a keynote speaker. But you all know that session has started from today. Winter session has started from today for Maharashtra Assembly, and he has given some sort of a good big assignment to contribute for the policy making and policy changes draft. So he is unable not able to attend today. So he has just some time back sent a message that he will be available for any queries, any suggestions, or any. If you have any problems with the MSSIDC or Maharashtra government, I invite, I'm very much thankful to Vishal Bhattji, Vice President SME Business, Tata Tele Business Services, who is here today to address us on the digital enablement of enterprises. Mr. Saurabh Nathu, he is the Head Strategy and Market Partnership, L&T Sufin, to give us a presentation on how to creating efficiencies in supply chain through the digitalization of MSMEs. Mr. Vasant Tiwari, he is joining us in some time. He is a Assistant Regional Sales Manager at Tata AIA Life Insurance Company Limited. He is giving us a presentation on importance of life insurance for the SMEs. So then we have one panel discussion, and there are two another speakers who are going to talk about the different topics. One is Mr. B.K. Mishra. He is from the Union Bank of India, and we have special address today by Mr. David Pasquini. He is a commercial officer for US Consulate General in Mumbai, and he is speaking on emerging business opportunities in the USA. This is something different and which is appealing to the MSME sector to expand globally. How they can connect with the global market, what are the opportunities and challenges faced by the MSMEs to enter into the various global markets. He is going to throw some light on this. So I welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and of the dais, and we will start this session. Special thanks to Shiba Madam to accepting our invitation, and I'll request Shiba Madam to start this today's discussions and guide the manufacturing industries that how they can go to the next level using the different products of the State Bank of India. Thank you very much. Thank you for and I'll request Shiva Madam to take over.
All dignitaries on the dais and others present here, a very good morning to all of you. See, we all know that SME plays a vital role in the Indian economy, and it plays about 45% of the industrial output, 40% of exports, and it is around 62 million people in India are employed in MSME, and it is generating employment to another 8 million people every year. There are around 8,000 various products which are visible in Indian market and international market in the SME category. And SME contributes towards the GDP around 17% it was in 2010, and it has improved to 27% in 2021. And there are approximately 63 million MSME units all throughout India. And we all know that Government of India has taken various initiatives to help MSME. Recently, they have introduced Stand-up India loans, Mudra loans, PM Swanidhi loans, etc. to cater to the needs of MSME customers. We, State Bank of India, are a pioneer in MSME financing. We were a Best Trade Finance Provider Award winner for the last 11 years, including the recent year 2021. When we are telling that SBI is the largest bank catering to MSME, we should understand that around networking of the branches we are having throughout India, around 22,000 plus branches. There are 48 crore customer base. That means it is about 1/3 of the population of India. Whenever you are taking every 3 Indian, one will be a customer of State Bank of India. So that is the kind of business we are into. MSME doing. We are catering to the needs of all category of MSME customers, including from the street vendors. Coming to the various products which we are providing, SBI is into Mudra loan, Stand-up India loan, and we are doing channel financing like EDFS, EVFS, asset-backed loans. We are providing collateral-free loans up to 5 crore without any collateral, and also under CGTMSE coverage. We have cash flow-based financing, project finance, etc. we are also doing. And as a part of Digital India, we are having a YONO business platform exclusively for MSME customers. We are having digital LC BG. Also we are having Forex, digital Forex transactions. And we have various products like e-trades, trade discounting, that's bill discounting through online platform, pool purchase, etc. Coming to the liability products, we have various cash management products for which we have TBU units in each of the administrative office in Mumbai. When we are coming to our networking of branches, I would like to add that there are 19 lakh total MSME customers to which we are catering throughout India, and there are 833 dedicated SME intensive branches and 2000 plus relationship manager catering to the needs of only MSME customers. Coming to Mumbai Metro Circle, which has 5 districts: Navi Mumbai, Mumbai Suburban, Raigad, Palghad and Thane. We are having 20 SME intensive branches out of 420 branches in the circle. We have got 57 relationship managers who are catering to the need of only MSME. We have various verticals like SME cells, SME CCs, which are doing business up to 50 lakhs. And recently we have logged in a business rule engineering platform, wherein from 10 lakhs to 50 lakh loans can be given in online platform. And we have 10 such SME CCs in this circle, and above that, above 50 lakh up to 50 crore is taken care by these SME intensive branches, and above 50 crore up to 100 crore we have a CPC in our circle at BKC, wherein we are catering to the needs of MSME customers. Above that, we have CCG branches and CAT branches, which are doing the high value transactions. And one more thing I would like to add, that State Bank of India, what is the level of business we are handling? If we see, our portfolio of business is 3,32,000 crore as of 31 March, which has improved to 3,67,000 crore as on November 30th. Coming to our Mumbai Metro Circle, we were 16,500 crore in March, which has improved to 18,700 crore as in November. So, another thing is the issues which MSME are facing in India. We know that despite all these initiatives, MSME sector is facing various problems due to the absence of adequate and timely banking finance, limited capital knowledge, non-availability of suitable technology, low product capacity, ineffective marketing strategy, non-availability of skilled laborers at a affordable cost, and follow-up with various government agencies to resolve their problem. But most of the entrepreneurs are not aware about the benefits which government and banks are providing. It is our duty and responsibility to make them aware and inform them that they can get all the incentives for their enterprises as provided by Government of India. It will definitely be a development in the social economic development of the country. Thank you. I think I have already mentioned. Mr. Mahesh wants to know about the YONO app. It is a one-stop financial thing you can have in your mobile itself. We have got YONO Cash, wherein you can withdraw cash without ATM card. So that is actually whatever the cyber crimes are happening these days. It is one, you can get rid of it by just using YONO Cash. You have to, I think most of you may be using also, I don't know. But there will be a one-time OTP generated for the particular transaction, and you need not share your PIN with anyone. You can go to the any ATM and withdraw cash without any ATM card. And I have already told, for the MSME sector, we have YONO Business, wherein you can get online LC, BG and Forex transactions. You can approach our transaction banking units, which are available in the four administrative offices in Mumbai, wherein they will help you to the customized services. And also you can approach any of the nearby branch or our website to get more details about that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for giving such a good information about the State Bank of India. And now I will request Mr. Vishal Bhatt, Vice President SME Business, Tata Tele Business Services, to give us a presentation and a speech on the digital enablement of enterprises. जोरदार तालियों से सर का स्वागत कीजिए.
Very good morning all, and Pretty warm welcome to all the dignitaries, people in the house. It's nice to see almost a full house. And we at Tata Tele are privileged and very much excited and in the journey of making this in manufacturing segment booming segment as we go forward. The focus is more towards the SME segment today, while we believe that large enterprises do have the required infra and the space and the expertise to kind of cater to their needs. What we are purely looking in is the challenges what SME faces and the way forward from a digital perspective. While digitization is the norm, and I think all of us, we believe that without adapting to this kind of method of doing business in future, I don't think businesses will survive. We got various instances, various examples of how large business houses who didn't adapt to this kind of a method eventually couldn't survive. So, which is where organizations like us, organizations like Tata Tele Business Services play a very pivotal role in taking the technology to the market, taking the knowledge to the market. Very importantly, like we at Tata Group not only believe in selling services to the customers, we also believe in actually providing the right information in terms of how we have to scale. So in my presentation, I'm going to cover certain aspects of how SME is shaping, and in the interim, what is the role of Tata Tele in this entire journey and operations of organizations going forward. I start off with a very small video which tells us how important it is for us not to only adapt the technologies, but also important for us to think and think how businesses have to change.
Manufacturers more than just data science.
It's about the actual implementation. So I often use a term called AI for AI, artificial intelligence for actual implementation in manufacturing. If you look at what we do today in many industries, you use technologies like automation, intelligent system to make products. But there are a lot of gaps. The gaps could be inventory, the waste, a lot of labor costs, and also quality issues. Those are common. So I think the future manufacturing will be how these gaps can be physically reduced or removed. That can make the manufacturing even more attractive for young people. And also it's very meaningful for the future. Technology always evolves over a different period. The good AI technology to solve those high complex problems, for example, optimization, scheduling, diagnostics, prediction, those can be great tools. But every company have a different type of problems. They need to define a good purpose. That's why the Global Lighthouse Network, we often talk about change story. What's your change story? Why you change? Just because of 5G, because of AI? Probably not. I want to improve the quality of my product. I want to increase the efficiency of my production. I want to integrate my supplier's capability into my manufacturing system to help a leaner, more advanced solution. So I think those are the very important things. So we need to define the right purpose. If those are clear, I think the high tech, hard tech, or good tech, they can make things happen. If objectives are not clear, that's only become a demonstration. I mean, it's also good, but probably the ROI may not have high return, yes. How can you help the current workforce to use the right technology and tools? I think to teach them, I think to empower them is more important, right? So as academia, we need to, first, test technology faster. Second, we teach younger generation even the new technology to meet the demand of a society. The third, university, we can make mistakes first. That will give a industry and other partners the opportunity to learn for the correct way. If you look at the future, how we make this whole thing well addressed, smart digital technology, quantum AI, 5G, for example, should make things transparent, traceable, and transferable. But first, we have to find the right purpose. I think industry, we have many problems. But once the purpose is clear, we can use technology to fill the process gap. If we can use the technology to fill those gaps, then these are good technology. They may not be high tech, but they are good tech.
Okay, now as a technology player, what does Tata Tele say? The Tata Tele doesn't talk of manufacturing houses these days. We created a new buzzword called the digital factories. Now, what we're talking about is you manufacture products. That's not the game. The game is right from the sourcing. The game talks about the entire supply chain. The game talks about how do you basically attract the consumers. So if you're not digitized and you're not creating a digital factory inside your organization, you will not be the first player to kind of take the product. You will not have the fastest feedback available in front of you. That's where the model of digital twins, where basically you create replicas, you have metaverses, you basically create some sort of vertical digital environments to kind of play and test models and eventually take it forward. 3D printing has now been part of it for quite some time. So the manufacturing industry as such today has to adapt to all these three things: digital twins, the metaverses, and the 3D model of actually taking the products forward. And hence it becomes more of a digital factory rather than a pure play digital manufacturing organization. So we saw, and I have heard before you heard the speaker talking about how the growth is happening. The growth is phenomenal. It's actually counting to 27%, 26% of the GDP, and it is growing. It is not the first stop. So globally, not only in India, we'd see that SME contributes to the highest GDPs. Now, what are we doing? We're coming with a lot of startups. What are we doing from the manufacturing side is also that there are companies, global companies who are investing. And recently I was talking to one of the prime consulting firms who basically establishes organizations who basically come with FDIs and want to set up their houses in India. I was talking about the kind of industry, what is building and what's the future. He said the next decade is going to be for the manufacturing. So we have been talking of innovations, tech, KPOs, BPOs, technology players, but here is an industry which is actually going to come up in the next decade. So, and to kind of stay in the race and to ensure like we do faster, we establish our organizations faster, digital becomes the key here. So what are we doing now? We're hearing this buzzword called AI. How is it helping the people? And what is helping not only by adapting to AI is also like to ensure like how do I predict? The most important thing today is the data analytics. Do you have the right information? Do you have the right knowledge about what's going to happen in the market? Do you have the right knowledge about what is the competition going to do against you? And hence, the data analytics becomes very important, where the artificial intelligence in terms of how the predictability has to be, in terms of how the future has to build in, plays a very important role. And we as Tata Tele come up with a very strong player in terms of suggesting and consulting, giving some sort of suggestions to people and the market in terms of how to adapt and how to use this technology as a player. Now, as you see, I spoke about digital twins. Now, this is a trend which is happening in the market. What's happening because of doing this kind of a model, adapting to this kind of a model, is that we basically speed our business. We basically speed our innovations. We are talking about taking technologies to the market. We're talking about making our supply chain management efficient. We're talking about consumer feedback, and what's happening is the use of AI and with the use of digital twins, things have become much simpler, things have become much faster. The speed at which this is running has to be it's phenomenal. And while in India, I would say specifically, the technologies, we are kind of still stranded at a large extent by the legacy systems, by the change we want to kind of see in future, but then the change which we're seeing is a little slow, but effectively with the use of these technologies and the acceptance of what's going to happen in future, things are going to kind of change very fast. So as we move forward, I spoke of the GDPs. Now, if you see, are we in a good space? We're clearly in a good space right now in India. The segment is booming. country is doing well, GDPs are growing, and especially on this side of the space, when it comes to SMEs, if you come down back to the earth, like it's the large, keeping the large enterprises aside and the large established organizations aside, the GDP is actually going to grow from 30 to 50%. Now, what's the scope? The scope is immense. The scope is immense, not only for the people who are supplying, not the scope is immense for the people who are basically manufacturing, the scope is immense for the people who are buying. So this is the kind of space we are in. I think we should be all kind of very, keeping ourselves in a very comfortable state, saying that, okay, fine, next 10 years, how is it going to be? Yes, we're going to be in a growing space. So, we spoke about it, with every innovation, with everything which comes as new, there always is a challenge behind us. Now, what's the challenge? The challenge is very clear to us, we know it. We know we don't have the required, I would say, ability today, the knowledge that is kind of, which is very, very important here. We also know how we used to deal in kind of taking the products to the market. The go-to-market strategies were completely little bit dependent manually. Now, what we're trying to do is like how to see our supply chain management. We're looking into how our backward integration or forward integration or our horizontal integration kind of is digitized completely in the sense to make it much faster and kind of make it speedy. And effectively, do we have this workforce? Do we have the skilled resources to kind of cater to it? The important thing is not adopt to technologies. The important thing is to basically transform. The transform word is basically to set saying, okay, fine, I've bought the technologies. You will see a lot of robotic machines stranded in the offices and the shop floors. You would see a lot of stuff which has been bought by companies, but eventually there's the use. The use is because do you have the right resources to kind of use them at the marketplace, use them at the actual place. So that's very, very important for us to kind of find. So what we need to do is we need to not only buy, we need to not only adapt, we need to also learn and create competence, create capabilities, actually kind of using it. And going further, are we within the regulatory? That's one of the challenges. Like, as I said, like India is a growing country. We are growing the GDPs. We are doing better, and we are coming with as a startup culture here. Effectively, like the important thing is how robust, how flexible at the same time our regulatories are. How do we adapt to it, and how knowledgeable we are on that side. Now, what is the path ahead? Now, while we're talking about technologies, we're talking about how SME sector and manufacturing is growing, but for us here and the theme ahead for us is to say what is there for us as an SME sector from a manufacturing perspective. So as I go forward, we talk about very importantly, like if you have to stay in the race, the important thing is are we there? Are we competing? Are we at par? Are we capable? The whole story comes is that you have to create cutting edge technologies. The cutting edge technologies from the perspective of the infrastructure, which means how are you placed infrastructure-wise today. If you are not there as far as technology goes, you will not scale. If you're not there as far as how to apply, as I spoke about in the previous discussion, in terms of how to apply the whole story. The whole thing is about cutting edge. Cutting edge, in fact, not a simple word of saying how do we use. It is about saying how do I make things simpler? How do I make things faster? How do I make things closer to the customer? If you see our Dollar Daily punchline, it also talks about these three things. While we are a digital organization, but it doesn't apply only to us, it applies to everyone in the house here as far as manufacturing goes. So, we at Dollar Daily have done a lot of work and trying to understand how we see this segment. And let me tell you, when our way of selling, our way of reaching out to customers in the past was more product-based. It was in the sense we are a company which had a mobility background also, and we are a company which is predominantly known as a telecom organization. But with the way the companies are functioning, with the way businesses are functioning, we kind of quickly adapted to the changing needs as an organization itself. Like we now looking at the entire digital journey of a company, digital journey of a customers, and effectively looking at saying where do we fit in, and in the sense as a technology player. So that is where we have now gone segment by segment, and this is basically focused more towards the manufacturing. It's no more an IT game. It's no more a technology game. It's about every function in the system. Now these are the functions which we have from our set of knowledge looked at from a perspective of an manufacturing SME. So every function has its internal digital needs. It's not about, as I said, it's not about IT needs now. It's not about CTO deciding or the IT head deciding about the digital or the technology needs. It's about the person sitting in the shop floor talking about how do I manage emergencies. Do I call people saying there's a fire in the shop floor, or there's a fire in the plant, or do I use technology is a question. So can a typical IT head think about it? No. It's the person who's sitting at the shop floor deciding on saying how do I use technology, how do I help my own organization to kind of make things faster and handle emergencies. Similarly, in various other sectors also you would see, be it kind of pharma industry or for that matter any other sector across, you will see the use of technologies being there, and effectively the digital technologies are being adopted to saying make things faster and simpler. So here we see in all this, we see a manufacturing looking like this. There are different functions, and be it supply chain, be it sales and marketing, be it remote monitoring, be it, and in the sense, if you look at the plant side of it, it's like the production management. It's like the remote monitoring. Am I sitting at home and am I sitting at a remote place, sitting somewhere in a different location and far from the plant? How things are happening? How can it happen? So that's where the play of innovation cloud comes into play. Are we storing data? Are we using this data to do remote monitoring? This is all the information which is very, very important for these days for SMEs to function. So, and if you then see what do we need to do then? Now, what should SMEs and SME as a manufacturing segment and sector do? Now, importantly, the four important critical aspects, and we've broken these into 4 different levers of the whole thought leadership here. We said you need to first of all look at the customer experience. Everyone in this house, everyone, not only people in this house, outside for running businesses, have to look at what is the best way to make our customers and consumers happy. And that can only be done if you are there with a personalized kind of a method of reaching out to customers. So which is where the customer experience becomes very important. Are we becoming lean? Are we becoming productive? Is a very important thing. It's not about the workforce now. It's about efficient workforce. It's about using the right people in the right place. It's about using technologies and creating much more efficiencies at a much faster speed. Then obviously the entire chain, as I said, backward, forward, the entire supply chain has to be looked at and effectively kind of create a method of saying reaching out to consumers forward. All this while we're saying we have to do this, but do we have the surplus money in hand? The answer is clearly no. No one has that. So how do we do it at a cost which is much more optimized as the whole game? Now, as I go forward, we pick up few studies in this, and we looked at some of the customers who believed that yes, they were there in the business, but they're facing little challenges. There's a company, automobile dealer company. Basically, they were looking at kind of making their life simple, like how would they reach out to their consumers in a much more faster way, and how would the consumers know like what's happening to their deliveries? How would the consumers know in the sense what is the new thing which is coming up out in the market? So they used technology products and the AI-based technology products from us to kind of reach out. So what is the product? This product is the omni-channel. It's basically an end-to-end product where they use collaborative tools to reach out to the consumers, and consumers can in a way come back to them through technology tools and then eventually chat, or for that matter inform, for that matter provide feedback, and then it makes the entire supply chain simple. So use of technology in this space, what has it done? It has not only reduced the pain area of saying how do I manage it, but workforce management has happened. At the same time, the things have become simpler. The infrastructure cost has drastically gone down. This was one of the challenges one of the companies faced. The other one was a company, this is a pump company it manufactures pumps. It's a plant in Manesar, Gurgaon. So they were coming up with new products. What was happening is with the invention and the inclusion of new products in the market, there was a lot of stuff which consumers wanted to talk to them. The feedback, or for that matter, making their sales ecosystem much more efficient. They were not able to handle those queries and the calls. That is where the product, we have a product called Smart Flow, which is the incoming stuff and the collaboration with toll-free number, wherein they made their internal contact center and their sales ecosystem much more simpler and much closer to the consumer, and at the same time 24/7. So initially they were using a very earlier traditional based sales ecosystem, and at the same time they were not able to handle sales, and at the same time the consumers who wanted to kind of provide them feedback, be it on service, be it on elements of how the product is, or the feedback on anything else, they were not able to get it. So the use of technology again. What happened? They were available 24/7, anywhere, anytime, anyone could reach them. What happened is basically they kind of created a very bundled kind of integrated method of reaching out to customers, and then scale was very simple. It's not about adding more people, it's about adding technology, scaling the technology, and that becomes a method of selling. Another example of how a pure mechanical company wanted to kind of use technology in the sense they were facing a problem in basically in their shop floor, where they were running the supply chain assembly line, and they were not knowing where is the problem. And at the same time, they were only coming to know about the problem only when things would have happened. The delay was already happened, or the bottlenecks which were there, and they were not even coming to know in real time. Effectively, what they used is a cloud-based technology where they kind of monitored the entire assembly line, and it was uploaded onto the cloud at the same time, and the people and the users, the players, the people who were basically meant to kind of see like how to build the efficiency could see it real time and provide a real time feedback of saying that, boss, this is not happening well, this is where the product is getting stuck, rather than waiting for the entire supply chain or the assembly line to move on. They were not able to figure it earlier. Now with the use of cloud-based digital technology and then the analytics of AI, where they would kind of converge it with the cloud product, could kind of come out with a method of saying where the problem is, and then give a real-time feedback back to the people. And this has made their product assembly line much more faster. At the same time, I would say, if you look at the workforce management, it becomes much more efficient at the same time. So some of these use cases are basically for you to consume, saying, if we are still not thinking about how to use digital methodology of running businesses, we should wake up. Because the reason is, there are people, there are organizations who are basically already adopting this. There are companies who have been basically using it. And effectively, if we still believe that there is some sort of threat I carry, we need to discuss that. Well, cybersecurity, we all know that cloud and all that, these are things which keep on coming back to us again and again, saying, are we safe? Is my data safe? Is my analytics safe? Am I prone to threats? All that stuff. But I think we need to go away from all these methods. There are ways and means today to kind of counter all these things. And people globally, not only in India, people globally are actually basically going to this side. So as I move forward, So this video tells you that we are in your digital journey, and that's what we are. And if we look at your operations, and if we look at how your business functions, this entire infra, which is basically a pure play internet. Without internet, nothing works today. To communication, which is messaging to people and reaching out to people, which is your voice platforms or your messaging platforms, then to cybersecurity and effectively the cloud-based solutions or the SaaS-based solutions, then typically integrating all this and marketing yourselves through toll-free numbers and other stuff. We're there for you in the entire chain, and that's where Tata Tele plays a very, very, very important role in your digital journey. We'd urge you to look at your operations, and what we've done recently is now that we effectively not talking to consumers or for that matter companies from a perspective of product. We're basically looking at doing workshops with some of the organizations, conducting workshops with some of the organizations. These workshops talk about their entire supply chain management, their entire way of operations, and where we understand their entire operations methodology and then effectively fit in our products. So as I move forward, I just wanted to kind of summarize the whole product line. This is the suite, as I spoke about the basic infra. It starts from pure play internet and voice. It goes on to much more smarter way of using technologies, effectively on connecting multiple locations, which is typically a manufacturing company has multiple plants, remote offices, retail chains, all that stuff. They then get connected through smart VPNs and smart internet lease lines, then the cloud-based SD-WAN and all that stuff. And effectively then as you go and you move out to the new technologies, the CPaaS and the cloud-based technologies, this is where we play a role in the if wherever you see smart, it's basically a punch which we kind of create from our side, because these are the product lines which we come up with, and it starts from omnichannel to smart workforce solution to cybersecurity and infrastructure as a service. So pretty broad in terms of the product range, and effectively like if I ask a question to myself, for a typical manufacturing company and a growing organization, where does these product lines fit, and does it fit everywhere? The answer is clearly is yes. It's only the question of saying whether you're using them today. If you're not using them today, you'll have to use it in any case going forward, right? And what are we? One-stop solution. Everything comes at one place. We are integrated. The most important thing is because we are governed by regulatories. And the last point, which is data privacy. As I spoke about, how secure is my data? That becomes the most important thing. And because we are governed by regulations and Tata Group as an organization, as a group, as a company, so this becomes very, very important. How are we secure? Are we reliable? Answer clear is no. And at the end of the day, are we simple? The simple is what is the use of technology. And some of our marquee customers, not to spend time on it, but it tells you that very clearly the stories that people are trusting, and we trust, and there's no dearth of trust with Tata Group, but on the whole, as Tata Tele business, we do serve some of the important customers across the country and globe. Some of the accolades, and very importantly, like these are some rewards which we've got from various forums, various innovations, ET stuff and all that, and from even from SME Chamber of India. And as we move forward from a technology front, what is the award? What sort of awards we've got? And from the brand front, yes, we are growing. We're doing far better as compared to how things have been past. And at the end of the day, customer centricity, which is the most important thing. Let me tell you, like for last 3 years, Tata Tele Business has been the #1 player against all its competition from customer centricity and customer service perspective. The customer satisfaction scores are the best for our company. So that's what we are. Thank you very much, and hope to kind of continue further discussions, and you're welcome to talk to me one-to-one for anything and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your presentation and your suggestions. If you wanted to achieve the 5 trillion economy, you should adopt the technology and implement the AI, digitalization, ML into your system. And now I will invite Mr. Saurabh Nathu, Head Strategy and Market Partnership, L&T Sufin, to give the presentation on how to create the efficiencies in supply chain through the digitalization of MSMEs. Over to you, sir.
So good morning everyone. I am Saurabh Natu and I represent L&T Sufin. First of all, let me tell you what L&T Sufin is. L&T Sufin is a wholly owned subsidiary of Larsen and Toubro Limited. We are a one-year-old startup. It's the new age e-commerce business which has been launched by L&T, the Larsen and Toubro group. The intent for this startup being launched was that L&T, as you know, is the builder of the nation. That's what Mr. Prime Minister, Honorable Mr. Narendra Modi has said recently, that Larsen and Toubro is one company which has actually built India. Most of the iconic buildings across India have been built by L&T, and the order book of L&T is as big as that of the GDP of a state in India. So when you see this order book, there are a lot of, so whom do these orders go to? These orders go to the MSMEs across India, and that is where L&T decided that there is something credible that can be done across the MSME sectors where we already are a part of. And that's how the genesis of the idea of L&T Sufin was done. And L&T Sufin was born last year. We started at the time of COVID, and last year we have grown 1 year old. L&T Sufin already has a huge GMV. It's in 4-digit numbers of crores of rupees, and we are steadily growing in the SME sector as well. So today, what I am going to do is, just before me, Vishal sir mentioned regarding 4 challenges which the SMEs face in India today. First challenge was digitalization. Second was the supply chain and distribution. Third was getting availability of skilled workforce. And fourth was the government regulations and information about it. Am I right, sir? So out of these 4 challenges, what I am going to do is, I am going to give you some insight on 2 of these challenges, which is digitalization and supply chain. So the word SUFIN actually stands for supply chain finance. So it's an acronym for supply chain and finance, and L&T is the mother who is sustaining us. So when we go to so who is actually the SME? Yeah. So in the SME ecosystem, you have a buyer, you have a seller. The buyer and seller exchange payments and goods and services. But along with that, there is a host of other ecosystem which supports this. So there is logistics, there is a lot of manufacturing and operations which ensure that the ecosystem is fulfilled. There is financing, because working capital is one of the most important needs of SMEs in India today. There is IT services as well as legal and contract support. There are contract manufacturers, services, and ancillaries which also support all of this. Along with that, in the ecosystem, there is government which plays an important role in terms of taxation, in terms of all the regulations which sustain the SME economy. And there is also a lot of other mid-corporate and large corporates who are mostly the buyers of these SMEs. So this is the whole SME ecosystem. Now let's look at one part of the ecosystem, which is the buyers. So what are the pain points of the buyers today? First is, where should I find more sellers? That when you say SME, he is sometimes restricted to a small part of India and he wants to expand his geography across India or across the world as well. So what does L&T Sufin do over here? We provide pan-India access where we have 30,000 sellers onboarded with us, and we have 3 lakh plus SKUs which are registered on our platform. Second pain point is, who will give me the item at the lowest price? So for that, L&T Sufin allows them to send RFQs. So at a time, 200 items RFQs can be sent at one go by uploading an Excel sheet. So this is again a very important and useful feature which enables SMEs to get a view of all the items which they need across India, as well as for buyers, as well as for sellers to quote for it immediately. Third is, suppose now I raise a RFQ, a seller has quoted to me, how do I trust this seller? So for that, what Sufin does is, we are having a verified and trusted seal, which wherein a physical verification as well as a digital verification is done. And L&T as a group stands by this seller saying that he is a trusted seller and he can be offered a credit. So again, that's a very important pain point which the whole ecosystem has, trust. And L&T stands for trust. So that's a marriage of convenience, I would say. Next, one more pain point is I don't have immediate funds. I need to buy on credit. How do I get credit from? So for that, we are having a lot of tie-ups with NBFCs, where we provide OD facilities, invoice discounting, seller finance, channel financing, and all of these financial tie-ups which we have, they actually help the buyers and sellers do the business in a seamless way, coupled with the trusted seal which L&T Super is providing. One more feature, or rather feature, a challenge which is faced is most of the SMEs do not have pan-India logistics. So over here as well, Sufin has partnered with a lot of logistics sellers. Around 21 logistics providers are there across India, and Sufin offers these logistics services to all SMEs across India. So this was from a buyer perspective. Now let me move to the seller perspective. So if I am a seller of on the platform, one of the main points is I am based out of say Coimbatore, but I want to sell my products pan India. I want to sell it to North, to Jammu and Kashmir, to Delhi. How do I make the buyers over there visible of my products? So L&T Super as a platform is a digital platform, and just as Sir mentioned that digitalization is something which is the way ahead, it's the future. And in our platform, we also do a lot of marketing spends, which enable the sellers to showcase their products across India. Second is how do I quote at the most competitive rate? How do I know that my quote is N1? So for that, we have a dedicated relationship manager for the sellers. And this dedicated manager is having visibility of the quotes which are being submitted. So the dedicated manager can actually help the sellers in terms of getting the right pricing, and they can negotiate with the sellers, and it can be a good win-win for everyone. So it's like having a dedicated manager when you go for matrimony. So we actually help a lot in letting sellers convert the orders. Next is the trust. So if I'm a seller, how do the buyers trust me? So for that, there is a trusted seal which we give, and it's a very comprehensive process which enables that the buyers place good trust on the sellers, and credit is also available. Again, for working capital, NBFCs are there, and a lot of banks are there. And how do I ship products? We have a lot of logistics providers who ensure that the logistics is ensured. Moving ahead, so all the things of buyer pain point and seller pain point which I mentioned, an integrated solution is what Supin stands for. We provide product and price discovery. We provide transaction support. The transaction goes through a Novotel account. So there is a full transparency in terms of the TCS, TDS, the taxation aspects of it, and invoicing aspects of it. There is full transparency. We provide logistic supports, and we provide financing as well. So what's the presence of L&T Super as of now? We are having 50 plus product categories. These categories have around 3,30,000 SKUs which are already registered and cataloged across sellers. We have around 45,000 entities, which includes around 30,000 buyers as well as sellers, and the rest of them are exclusive buyers or exclusive sellers. We have presence across India. So west, north, east, and south, we are there throughout India. These are some of the products categories which are there on our platform, and I would urge all of you to visit the platform and get, if you are a seller, you can get yourself registered as a seller, get your products cataloged. Cataloging is for free, we do not charge for cataloging, and RFQs are also free. So when you are registered as a seller, if a buyer is placing an RFQ upon you, it will come to you without any charge. You do not have to pay for it. You just have to respond to the RFQ with your price. So right now it is free. So this is just a few details about the other categories which are there. Different products, just have a minute to go through it. You can take a picture as well. Some of these you may find relevant in the sectors that you are working for, and for others you may also be a buyer of some material. So it's not just for sellers, it's also for buyers. Buyers also get to place orders on RFQs and find the best price across India. So, in a nutshell, these are some of the key value propositions which our platform offers. Number one is request for quotation. For around 200 products, we are able to provide quotations on credit as well as immediate cash payment terms. We have a STP route as well, which is buy now, wherein some rates of products are published and the buyer can automatically automatically click on an item and a seller and it gets delivered to them. We have the RFQ route as well as the STP route. Where in RFQ route, it's a bit of a process. Process is a bit, I would say, longer than the STP route because the price is to be discovered. It is not published. We provide working capital solutions, so unsecured financing solutions, overdraft, invoice discounting, equipment financing, channel financing with multiple vendors. We have onboarded a lot of MRO item providers who are there on our platform and who also have a lot of channels. So for those channels, we are providing channel finance. And we have a lot of reputed banks and NBFCs who are onboarded with us. We provide distributor financing and digital channels for OEMs. We have a lot of OEMs who are onboarded with us. Trust seals, as I mentioned earlier, to give confidence to the dealers so that we don't face an issue that, oh, this entity is unknown, how do I deal with them, and the entity is based out of, say, across the other part of India. And of course, logistics and payment gateway services for fulfillment. Interesting thing is, so this is how a trust seal looks like for Sufin. These are some of the financing solutions which we offer, bit in detail. Quick approvals are there. So, L&T Sufin oversees the entire financing solution process. So, it's not like we just give you a lead and we move away. But we handhold the seller and the buyer to ensure that they get the financing. We have ties with these NBFCs and we ensure that the financing gets converted. It's not just a lead. So again, logistics, express courier services, part truck load services are also available, as well as full truck load. Free transit insurance, so this is something which we have across all the entities who deal on our platform with Sufin Logistics. And of course, quality is ensured because we are part of the entity. So we have just launched our buyer app. I would urge all of you to download this app. It's available on Google Play Store as well as on iOS. And so this is the code. It's also there on the leaflet which is there on our standee, which is placed just beside the door. So please make sure that you take one of the leaflets and download the app. So when you get into the app, you will be able to register yourself as a buyer and you will be able to place an RFQ. So I would urge you just place an RFQ and see what happens. You would receive a call within the next 24 hours and they will discuss with you in terms of what your requirements are, and you can actually test out by placing small order of industrial item which you may or may not require, just to build confidence with us. We also have our white label products, which is Gravis and Solido. So these are two brands which have been launched by L&T Sufin. And these are some of the materials which are extensively used in L&T's own contracts which are there across India. As well as, so if L&T is using these items, the SMEs can also use these items, the quality is ensured, that is for sure. So how to reach us? There is a website as well as there is an app. You can just fill in this inquiry form and we will reach out to you the same day. So that's our promise, we will reach out to you on the same day. So that's it all from my side. Thank you so much. I do hope that you will reach out to us.
Thank you, Saurabh ji. Thank you very much for the presenting this bouquet of the services from the L&T Sufin. And now I will invite Mr. Vasant Tiwari, Assistant Regional Sales Manager, Tata AIA Life Insurance Company, and he is talking on importance of life insurance for the MSMEs. Over to you, Mr. Tiwari.
Actually, he has announced the name of Vasant Tiwari. I am Mahesh Vahatule. So, I am taking over the presentation for business protection for MSME. Okay. Working as a zonal head, taking care of west and south of Tata AIA. Okay. Now, everyone was talking about enablers for MSME. But the most important part for MSME is protection. How we can have a protection for capital, for talent. Okay, I'll take you through for that. Well, talking about Tata Group, as you all know, it's a book group which have a presence in 10 sectors in IT, financial services, automotive, aerospace, defense, consumer retail, tourism, steel, trading, investment, telecom, and infrastructure. And Tata AIA is part of financial services of Tata Group. It's a 150 years old group. So nothing to talk more about this because everyone knows about Tata Group, which has got a 311 billion market cap as on March 22. Okay, I'll not go much more about this. Tata AIA, so far, I mean, it's almost 23 years old company, wherein we have till now protected almost 75,59,081 families with 4 lakh crores of sum assured till now, and 81,000 crores of asset under management till now. These figures are till March 22. There has been incremental number for this, and 99% is a claim settlement ratio. That claim settlement ratio as of now. And we have 400 plus branches. We have got presence in major cities, and for express claim settlement ratio, we have a TAT of 4 hours. Right? Not talking about business protection for SMEs and private limited companies, public limited companies, partnerships. So we have programs called Employer-Employee, Keyman Insurance, Partnership Insurance, and Married Women Property Act. I'll go through in detail when I take one by one for this. Right. Talking about employer-employee, so the major concern for an organization is a retention of an employee, a retention of talented employees. So these are the major tool which helps you in retaining the talented employees, right? And retaining the talented employee along with tax efficiency, I mean saving the tax also. So this employer-employee programs helps you save tax also. Plus gives a benefit to employee benefits also, which better compensation. So instead of giving them dividend, we can go this way, which is a more tax efficient as compared to dividend. I'll go in detail when we go move forward. And plus, I mean deferment of taxes there, okay? Because you will not be paying tax now. I mean, say down the years, 8 to 9 years down the lines. So there is a deferment of tax in this. Sorry. So now who can buy this? Private limited companies, public limited companies, trust, partnerships, sole proprietorship, corporate banks, societies, and LLP, limited liability partnerships. So these are the firms which can buy employer-employee program for a betterment of their employees and to save the taxes. Now, partnership insurance. Why partnership insurance is required? Because eventualities, I mean, we don't know, I mean, can happen anytime. So to conserve the capital in case of eventuality of any partner, avoid setbacks that may affect day-to-day functioning of business, and personal stakes of partner remain intact, securing individual goals. And it gives confidence to creditors, vendors, and employees. Since your capital is intact, you are running your business as usual, so it gives confidence to your creditors and vendors. So it gives a financial stability, and which makes sure that, I mean, you are running your business as usual without any losses. Keyman insurance. This Keyman insurance is important, especially for the most important person of your organization, which is a key person of your organization. If any untoward incident is happening, I mean, you're ensuring that it is not having any loss to your organization. Okay, it's a risk management tool. I mean, under the plan, we cover up disability or anything. I mean, anything which is happening to your key man is being covered, and funds are paid out to ensure that your working capital is intact. Here I have given an example where you can understand how you're saving the tax, right? Suppose we have taken an example, Ram is a director who has decided to benefit him with a dividend of 1 CR. Now, when he decided to do that, there are tax implications for this. First, he'll have to pay a corporate tax, which is 25.17, and along with that, tax would be paid because he will be in a say salary bracket of 1 CR to 2 CR. So taxes with all the surcharge, it would be 35.88. So that will go to 35,88,000. So what amount is saved? Only 38,95,000 is saved in this scenario if he is paying dividend. Now take the other scenario. If he is going for employer-employee scheme, right? Corporate tax would be saved. Entire 25 lakh would be saved. The only amount which he has to pay is 35.88. That is individual tax. So total saving, net because 25 lakh is a saving. So if I consider that also, that means you are saving 89 lakh rupees. So, employer-employee for that, we have a program called Urja, Talik Urja, which takes care of all these things, wherein we have dedicated chartered accountants, we have a dedicated team which helps you to resolve all these issues, this tax implications and everything. We take care of that. Okay, as I told you, we have got an expert channel of chartered accountants, improved document process and help desk is there, dedicated underwriting desk for BI cases, business insurance cases, and exclusive medical team is there because other policies are treated differently and there's business insurance policies are treated differently. We have got a separate dedicated medical team for this, and we have got digital tools for a fast track service for business insurance. Right. So that's about it. Nothing to talk much about it. If anyone has got any question about this, I'm ready to take on the questions. Done? So it could be either way. You have understood everything or not understood anything. Anyways, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I'll invite Mr. Bashist Kumar Mishra, AGM MSME Loan Point Head, Union Bank of India, to talk on the empowering MSME units through the various finance schemes. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone present in this hall. Myself, B.K. Mishra, representing Union Bank of India. I am stationed at our MLP Andheri, which is serving the 50 branches of our Andheri region. Actually, we are having a special setup for MSME units that processes the loan requirement of all the MSME units, and it is called as MSME Loan Point. I am heading that loan point in our Andheri region. First of all, I would like to thank SME Chamber of India and Tata Tele Business Services to give an opportunity to represent our bank on such a big platform where many manufacturers, entrepreneurs are present, so that we can showcase our banks and bank's product in this lively environment. As already our earlier speakers have told that MSME plays a vital role in our Indian economy. It represents a big share of our GDP, it represents big share of our export, big share of employment, and as we all know that our government is always implementing various schemes, various guidelines for boosting MSME entrepreneurs and MSME units. We at Union Bank of India always work in tandem with government guidelines to boost MSME entrepreneurs, to give finance to MSME units, which is the main hurdle for development of MSME in our country. and always we are pioneer in implementing government schemes through our various schemes in our country. As recently our government has already implemented various products for MSME units like Stand Up India, Mudra, PM Samman Nidhi, PM Vishwakarma schemes, and all the products have been successfully implemented and successfully marketed by our bank. Even for Stand Up India, for Mudra, for PM Samman Nidhi, we are going to customers through our outreach campaigns. It is not that customer will come to our place and we will be working in a fashion like earlier public sector banks were doing. We proactively are reaching our customers, and for that our bank has already launched one project Power. Under project Power we are going to customers, we are meeting new customers and we are serving their requirements in a manner that suits to their requirement. Regarding digital upliftments, we think that our bank is very pioneer in implementing various digital products. Even in Mudra, any customer can apply loan through their mobile, through their internet, from their house, from their business place, and they can get instant credit to their account. We are having such a robust STP mechanism. For various other loans also, we are having STP journeys. For renewals even, see, in MSME accounts, every year account is getting renewed. And for that, so many documents is required to submit to bank, 2-3 visits of entrepreneurs, which will take their time. So our bank is in the process of digitalizing the renewal processes. Already we have started the digital renewal process up to 10 lakhs, and very shortly it will be up to 5 crore, where no need of any additional documents, no need of customers to go to branch, and we are doing through straight through processes, even loan sanctions, loan renewals. To support the MSME units, we have a vertical at central office known as MSME department, who are daily on regular basis, they are doing research, they are analyzing the fields and knowing the market requirements and changing our products and services time to time so that the same should suit to the customers in recent times. And for the same, our bank is having various MSME products that suits to individual customer group. Just I will represent few of the products. Start, please. First, just this is a brief history of our bank. Union Bank was established on 11th of 1999 with its headquarters in Mumbai. The head office of our bank was inaugurated by none other than father of our nation in 1921, Mahatma Gandhi. Next. This is the snapshots. We are having a global business of more than 19 trillion through our 8,729 branches, 11,554 ATMs, 8,000 plus BC points, 120 plus million customers, and we are serving through 78,000 plus employee. For MSME units, we are having a special processing centers throughout India. Throughout India, we are having 135 MLP MSME loan points who are especially serving to MSME units only. Next. As we all know that India has emerged as one of the fastest growing economies and is projected to clock one of the highest growth rate in the world. It is a vibrant and dynamic sector, and we at Union Bank of India always support MSME units through proper funding, timely funding in a hassle-free manner. These are our few products. Union Arogyam for doctors, Union MSME Suvidha for manufacturers and traders, Union Rent for discounting your lease rentals, financing traders against warehouse receipts, Union Alankar, Mudra. These are our various products for MSME units. We will highlight some of the features of our few products. These are focused products. Union Nari Shakti. This product is especially designed for women entrepreneurs to promote women entrepreneurs, wherein the margin requirement for business units will be lesser, rate of interest will be lesser, and even we are sanctioning collateral free loans up to 5 crore under CGTMSE scheme in this scheme. Eligibility all women owned and managed MSME, wherein women's share should be more than 51% and more. Here margin is very minimal level, up to 1 crore loan it is 5%. If we are loan requirement is more than 1 crore, then margin requirement will be 15%. We can give in the form of term loan for capex purpose and CC for working capital requirement. Collateral is nil up to 5 crore loan. We are covering the loan under CGTMSE scheme. Beyond 5 crore we can go for hybrid scheme, wherein 25% security is required for uncovered portion. Here loan is minimum 2 lakhs, maximum up to 20 crore, 10 crore we can give, and whatever our processing charges and rate of interest applicable, here some discount is given to women entrepreneurs, 1% concession in applicable rate of interest. Processing charge is nil for up to 2 crore, and beyond that 50% concession is there. Second, MSME Suvidha scheme. Here all MSME irrespective of constitution are eligible under Union MSME Suvidha scheme. Here proprietors, individuals can enter up to 70 years of age. Margin requirement is as applicable. We can give the loan in the form of term loan, CC, OD. And security coverage requirement is minimum 75%. In this, our rate of interest is linked to security coverage. Sometimes what happens that promoters are having huge collaterals. They are ready to offer, but they want only rate of interest at minimal level. So here the collateral coverage influence the rate of interest. This is our unique product. Minimum 10 lakh and maximum up to 50 crores we can give. Here in service industry we can give 5 crore OD also. Rate of interest is already linked to security coverage, which I have already told. Next. This is GST gain, Union GST gain. What happens when sometimes promoters balance sheet is not properly made, like ratios are not proper, capital is less, but their business are going smooth and they are GST compliant customer. Under this scheme we are not funding on the basis of balance sheet, strength of balance sheet. Only thing is that when whatever turnover is going through GST, we are considering that turnover and accordingly we are financing. Under this we are giving CC for working capital requirement, and collateral coverage is also less. It starts from 50%. Next. Union equipment finance. Here we are giving equipment financing to all the contractors, all the MSME units who are taking equipments for their captive purpose. Even new to bank customer can approach for Union equipment finance. Margin is very less. Wherever DSRA of 3 months is maintained, it is 5% margin, otherwise 10% margin. Minimum loan is 10 lakh, up to 50 crore we are giving. And security is hypothecation of equipment only. No collateral, yes, CGTMSE cover is being insisted by the bank. Processing charge concession is there in processing charge. Rate of interest is also very competitive. Next. Union Ayushman Plus. This project is especially designed for our medical professionals, hospitals, clinics, nursing homes, diagnostic centers. Here we are giving up to 100 crore loan at concessional rate of interest. Rate of interest is very competitive. It is for construction of hospital, purchase of land, construction, renovation, equipment, machinery, everything. Up to 5 crore we can cover under CGTMSE. Beyond that, collateral requirement is there, where 50% collateral requirement will be there. For digital lending, our bank has already made various initiatives which I have already discussed earlier. Shishu Mudra STP. a first bank to launch STP for Shisu Mudra with end-to-end digitalization up to disbursement stage. Here disbursement is also being done digitally and customer's account will be credited from their home only. MSME STP, we are giving PSB loans in 59 minutes. MSME auto renewals is being taken place digitally. MSME credit card, we are giving MSME credit card and all the digital platforms of government we are a member and we are actively using. At Union Bank of India, we aim to become bank of first choice for MSME. Bank continues to serve the MSME clientele through its various schemes, products with attractive features and competitive rate of interest, continuously evolving products, schemes, process and procedures for customer delight. Bank shall extend the best-in-class service to the MSME and envisions to be part of their growth story as part of nation building. Thank you all. Thank you.
Now the floor is open for the question and answers. If you have any questions to all the speakers here, you can raise your queries. Give your name and a specific question to whom.
Yeah, I'm Satyan Daga from Daga Chemicals. I'd like to ask Vishalji. So I'm from chemical industry with 40 years of experience here and 20 years of exposure in China. When you talk about DCS automation, we are representing many large companies here, and when you look at China, there's a huge gap there. So when large enterprises here are not DCS automatized, how do you think that, digital journey for SMEs in terms of cost, affordability, payback period and all that, and with knowledge gap, how we can, reduce the gap between India and China in the digital journey?
So, in my presentation, I think if you look at, I kept on talking about SMEs adaptation to the technology and the digital stuff. So, and there are various ways. Obviously, one of the ways is to kind of conduct this kind of forums, make people aware, very much aware of saying how things are happening. And importantly, it's for every organization and for every management person to kind of understand one thing. This is the way it has to be. If we don't kind of create that mindset within ourselves saying how the business is used to happen and how it has to happen in future as we move forward, it won't change. So, as Tata Tele, I think we need to tell you like what we're doing. As we spoke, like we are there in various forums. We do kind of create a lot of communication outside to the outside world, saying like how is it happening, and clear use cases in terms of how transformations have happened for companies who were using and doing the businesses in X way and now kind of have with the use of technologies changed. And effectively also a lot of times now we have gone further behind and taken a step ahead by doing very exhaustive work, as I spoke about, technical workshops with some of the manufacturing companies, and we bring in all the functional heads together. It's not about, as I said, it's not about an IT game now. It's about people coming together and understanding maybe the SCM head, the marketing, the contact center, and effectively the entire supply chain talks about how the adoption has to happen. So people do face issues in terms of use of data. People do face issues in terms of the resources, the finances, the skill in the end. But if you look at and the entire journey and start thinking about saying, yes, we'll have to play a part everywhere, somewhere. As we spoke about today, loans, we spoke about something on use of technologies, use of other stuff. I think it becomes a very, very important key. We see clearly this adoption happening, because I can tell you and look at, let me give you a view of saying, especially let's take Mumbai as an example, as a territory here. If I go to places in North, which is in India, so let's take major hub of Delhi NCR, and if I go towards southern hub, which is Bangalore and Silicon City and other places, and you compare with likes of western parts of India, which is Mumbai and to Pune and all that, to compare the demographics between the three, you will clearly see the adoption happening. The sector which is creating and giving the highest revenue even to companies like us is manufacturing. It is not the ITS sector, which is, India is known for technology. So this clearly tells you what's happening in the market now. Then the next comes banking, then third comes services, then the fourth comes ITs in this sector. So there's a change which is happening, and the data tells us a lot of things, and I could clearly see the way, even for that matter, the investments are happening. The companies were coming up and setting their houses in India and kind of looking at all that when we say FDIs and all that. That's purely from the manufacturing segment. I see this change happening, and I would say if we continue to kind of innovate, if we continue to kind of support, if we continue to start think, this change will happen. So this is just a start for us, but SME is a booming segment. It's a sector which is there. I don't say that we'll be left behind. Anyone else wants to come on? Me or someone else?
Okay. Yeah, to you only. My name is Sudhir, and I represent a company called ALD Vacuum Technologies. We have taken about a year back the TCS Eon system, the ERP system. So I just wanted to understand, after listening to you, the smart program of Tata Teleservices, is there any integration between this system, the ERP system of Eon, and the system what you just now talked to? So I wanted to understand whether there is any platform that integrates between the two, wherein we could use your services as addendum to what we currently have.
So what are you using Aeon for today?
This is for our ERP accounting. It's a total ERP package that we have taken from them. It's specially catered for SME sector.
So what is the use? It's like connection interfaces are very simple, not simple. Interfaces are available there. Like you, for example, I showed you a product called SmartFlow. SmartFlow is basically a cloud-based communication platform where you can reach out to people outside and people can reach back to you. Now the question is this product compatible with other interfaces? Is it compatible with SAP? Is it compatible with likes of Salesforce? Is it compatible with likes of other CRMs? The answer is yes, it is compatible with 23 connectors. It's got 23 interfaces. Okay. Now we can even interface it with it. The question is, what is the use? What is that what you want to benefit out of it? What is there in Eon? And effectively, like, what is the application of integrating it with something else? So what answer to your question is yes. The only next step we have to take is like, what is the application? What do you want to do? That can be discussed.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I'm Dinesh Rana from Motera Chemicals, and I wanted to, because there was a time when the SME remains SME for a long time because to take the tax benefits. Now the time has changed. The SMEs grows like anything. They take they go to the NSE and BSE, take the capital and grow. Now I wanted to know the product you are offering in this thing, that if right now there is a maybe 30 crore, 40 crore turnover and increase by double or triple. So will be your product that you are offering in the cloud and other things will be valid for at that stage when it becomes a large one?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the whole purpose of technology is. Technology is, one of the key things about technology is the scale. Can you achieve scale by using of technologies? Answer clearly is big yes. Can you scale by not using technology? Answer is no. So again, it goes back to the operations. Again, it goes back how your organization functions. We spoke multiple times about saying your sales and marketing. How do we see manufacturing as a company today? It's gone broken into production, then sales, then effectively supply chain, other stuff. Everywhere, and we spoke about assembly lines and all that. Everywhere there is a use of technology. And what you're asking is if you are SME today with the 30-40 crore turnover, and it becomes, as we move forward and with low cost adoption, you don't want to invest more, and but you want to grow, and you see growth coming up. How do you keep costs in control? The way is to kind of say, how do I use technology there? And it can be, for example, reaching out to more people, and reaching out to more people by not putting more field force on the field. So how do we use? We use platforms. We use CPaaS as a communication platforms as a service in terms of reaching out to people. How do we communicate? How do they reach out to us? It's again, these are chatbots. There are ways of coming back to you and methodologies of saying how technology is getting used. So effectively, I would say, if you are having a growth plan and you are running your operations, you would want to tell us saying, this is what is happening right now. This is what you're using at your shop floor. This is what you're using for your supply chain. This is what you're using for your communication. This is what you're using for your, how you're doing your effective supply chain and the end. And that is where we'll come back to and say, this product can fit in there, and by use of this product, you can reduce costs, you can reduce resources, you can actually control and optimize various elements of your business. So that's how you look at these videos. We mostly lot of us see these videos of how Amazon runs its warehouse. There's no person out there. No, there is robotics getting involved. So that's what is technology. Then that's what is AI. That's what is machine stuff. And if you are kind of growing, the way is not to grow the organization by number of people. The way is to kind of say, how do I control the costs and at the same time show a growth and compete, because competition is doing the same thing.
So my another question to Mr. Saurabh Nathu, and you spoken about the seal. When you have a new buyers, you will ensure to be a trust. You can ensure the trust to the supplier. Now, how do you, if the case of the say late payment or the default, are you undertake how are you going to pay on behalf of the defaulter, or are you going to undertake how it will be solved?
So we are actually giving trust seal, and there is a whole process of getting this trust seal, wherein there is a outsourced agency which also visits them, the supplier, and there is a list of tests which are done in terms of the GST as well as other filings and all. And based on that, a seal is given to the buyer and to the seller. Now, as you mentioned, this case wherein there is a default from the seller side, correct? So from the buyer side, the buyer is not going to pay the seller. So for that, we have to deal it on a case-to-case basis. L&T will facilitate this transaction for the buyer as well as the seller. And we have a lot of mechanisms. So if the buyer has been dealing with us for some time, and he has certain orders which are already there with us in the pipeline with other sellers, so we have to deal it in a case-to-case basis. So L&T paying on behalf of seller and buyer is something which can be thought of. So there have been a couple of instances in the past where we have also learned from those experiences and we have improved our systems and processes. But yeah, it's on a case-to-case basis which we are handling right now. Definitely, as the scale increases, as the SME grows big and the scale increases, then definitely we will have to put in a system and some SOPs to deal such cases going ahead.
So to just add on over here, I'm Rajiv Warrior from BD Software. We are a distribution company for cybersecurity and digital transformation tools. So when you choose a vendor, I just wanted to know whether it will be the manufacturer or the importer, or you can register for a certain product for anybody, like a dealer picks up in huge quantities and register.
So you don't need to be a manufacturer at all. You can be a trader, you can even be a school or a hospital who don't have to pay, or a trust who doesn't have a GST number. You can be anyone. All those provisions are there in our system and anyone can get it themselves registered. Only right now our scope of work is within India. We have not ventured out as of now. So for export transactions, that's something which we have not delved into it as of now.
So basically, if I am a manufacturer of a certain product or an importer, my dealer or anybody can register at your place.
Yeah.
It's not open only for the manufacturers.
No.
right?
Any
Thank you.
trader can also, anyone who has a GST number or anyone who's a trust or a government institution can also register.
Okay, thank you.
So my name is Salman Merchant, Mr. Saurabh.
Yeah.
I'm from Real Rainwear. We manufacture rainwear in the industry.
Sorry,
my
I didn't
question,
get you.
we manufacture rainwear basically.
Rainwear, okay.
Rainwear. So we do collaborate with B2B portals like Trade India, IndiaMart. They have their own trust seals and all those stuff. So how is your trust seal different? How is L&T Sufin doing something different rather than those two platforms? Because IndiaMart being public company right now, they are doing on a very large scale. So what is the basic difference?
So you're right. IndiaMart is very big today. They have a lot of scale. The basic difference between IndiaMart and L&T Sufin is that IndiaMart is a lead generation platform. They do not do transactions. They do not do financing. They do not provide logistics. L&T Sufin does all of these things. We not only give the leads, but we also take the responsibility of converting the leads and give finance and logistics and complete the entire ecosystem for you. So that is one fundamental difference. In terms of the trust seal, which you mentioned. So everyone has their own different processes. Our team, the core team for L&T Sufin is from the financing and banking background. So they have been in big public sector banks and they know that what are the different loopholes which SMEs can also sometimes find out in order to evade GST and all those kind of things. So they are aware of all those things. So based on that, they have developed some systems wherein you do not need to give your GST number or a CIBIL score. You can actually just give your bank account number, and some proprietary algorithm has been developed internally wherein just based on your bank account statements, we are able to ascertain whether this person is or this SME is of a trustworthy score or not. So we have our internal systems to judge that. And based on that, we give some
small
scores.
question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Is that when there is a transaction is initiated on your platform, like a buyer is placing an order. So because we being a vendor, we'll be registering as a vendor. So will the vendor get to see the GST number and all the details? Because today's date, when we can check that if this guy is filling his GSTs or not, is this guy is properly situated in at what he's stating, like if the location of the shipping address and the GST address is different, we can build a trust on
there outright, but the name of the buyer will be available over there and a relationship manager will be allocated to you. So that person will actually facilitate with you in terms of getting you the GST details of the buyer.
Okay.
So that's how we have kept one facilitator in between both of them.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Sure.
Hello, sir. So my question is to Mr. Vishal. My name is Manish. I represent Credex Financial Services. Sir, am I audible to you? Yeah. So, sir, financial services are facing this communication problem between buyers. Let's say one of your vendors is coming to a financial partner, and he wants to, the financier wants to connect with the buyer. Buyer, I am being specific to the large enterprise. So what problem we are facing there is, the point of contact from the buyer's end, they are like, boss, this is your transaction. We don't want to get into it. And they're just keeping a wall in between. So where are we, as in Tata Tele, what are we doing regarding this? I'll put up my question.
What the question is?
Yeah. So let's take one of your vendors. He is approaching any of the financials. Could be a bank.
Okay.
Could be a financial service. And then the banker or the financer wants to have connect with the buyer.
Right.
Okay. To facilitate that trade basically.
Right.
What happens is the buyer, the point of contact with the buyer, they kind of hesitate in having a discussion with the financiers. And there the trade stops. We need a comfort from the larger enterprise, the buyers, wherein I can finance that trade.
Can you answer this question differently? Is the technology, is it confidence? How do you get the confidence? So, Kunal, have you understood this question?
So you're saying the buyer is hesitant. How do we bring in the confidence in the buyer to kind of talk? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So it's about brand, it's about visibility, it's about promoting your product, it's about know-how about how your product is, what your product is all about, and how you communicate. Now the question is it available in the market? Are there people who vouch for you, who basically talk about your product, and they are the ones who say, yes, this is the one which we should talk and we should buy. The confidence comes from brand visibility, the confidence comes from product features, the confidence comes from availability, customer centricity, customer feedback, and all that. So that is how I see it. Well, can you use technology in developing that as an organization? Answer is yes. That's what we do. And if you are a company running a SME shop today and basically talking to your want to be customers, and you want them to reach out to you, and they trust your product and they start trusting and talking to you, that is where we come as a technology player to kind of help you promoting your product, help you taking your communication to the customers, help your customer talk to you through various channels, be it voice calls, be it chat and two-way chats and all that, and at the same time you promoting your product through marketing your product through digital means and digital communication. For example, today you got social media platforms available. You got Facebook, you got X, you got Insta, you got other stuff available now. There are platforms, and our platforms provide that to you, saying you want to kind of take your product through all the social media communication channels and reach out to the market. Yes, we're there for you to do that.
Thank you. We'll have one last question.
I'm Dr. Alok Kumar from Par Specialty Polymers. My question actually is to Madam from State Bank. Madam, see, as an SME manufacturer and marketing person, we find a lot of problem in terms of finding out the credit worthiness of our new buyer. If we are getting a new buyer, then whether do we take PDC from him or we just keep it on advance? That is the question that haunts us, because nobody wants to give advance. But then if we take PDC, let's say if it is 50,000, and if it bounces, then we are stuck. So how do we go forward on that? How do we get the credit worthiness of our new buyer through the bank system?
Sir, I think you can go ahead with bank finance through them, na? Maybe it's through LC or something like that, kind of.
LC, etc. Yes, but LC, not too many people will go for that, especially for the small purchases, maybe 50,000, 80,000. Okay. They want credit. But then whether the person is credit worthy or not, because as a customer to the bank will not provide his CIBIL score or any data on his credit worthiness. Yeah. That is the problem we face.
Yeah, I understand, sir.
Yeah.
But we have to work out, I think, credit worthiness. As such, we are not sharing the credentials of other customers to you. I think we need to work on that.
So we have to have some different mechanism.
Yeah. See, we work in UAE also. There, the banks, they do provide whether they will discount the check.
Yeah. Okay.
If we have a PDC, then whether they will discount the check PDC for that customer. That shows how credit worthy that person is.
Okay.
Yes. But here that.
So currently we are not doing that for our non-customers. So, and we don't have any venue like we can share the credentials of the customers to other person. So I think we need to work on that area to give comfort to the customer.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Madam, I'm with Union Bank of India, sole banker since last 40 years. Sir. I've been suggesting on platform when we discuss that all banks should have the credit insurance with themselves itself. So that across the banks, anybody is having credit, insurance. So automatically the transaction can be insured. I think IBA should work on this.
Yes.
There is credit insurance. If the interbanking credit insurance available, nobody will be able to default.
Yes, sir. Understand, sir. I think we should take it up to other forums. Let us do that.
Just to add, Madam sir, actually bank cannot disclose any confidential information about any customers. But there are various agencies in the market from whom you can get the reports on any companies, any individuals by paying a small amount. If the transactions are regular in nature and you want to know about his health, their health.
I've lost crores of rupees on those agents' informations.
Sir?
I've lost crores in that agent's information. So I said credit.
Excuse me.
I gave the credit and I lost it.
Yeah, the reliability is an issue. Yeah.
So basically, I think this is a challenge which every organization is facing. It's not a one-point challenge, but see, Tata Tele is a company which is into enterprise SME space, and we serve close to 35,000 SMEs, 35,000 entrepreneurs, enterprises. And look at the challenge we'll be facing, because we're not talking of consumers, we're not talking of end user, we're talking of a company doing business and taking products from us, not one product, multiple products. What we do is basically we are also kind of facing this challenge in terms of when a new customer comes into discussion. But we do a lot of stuff. We're trying to kind of digitize that part from our side, is that we do a lot of pre-verification. Now the whole game starts from pre-verification in our systems, whether this customer is verified or not. The verification may not be on the CIBIL scores and all that, but verification is from various sources. And still you may say that you lost crores, but another day, somewhere you need to create that risk factor of saying how much can I risk us. And so what we do is we keep on doing that pre-verification for customer, and again the use of data analytics for companies who are basically into more consumer data and more customer stuff. You will have to somewhere bring in that concept of AI and say the customer is this, located at this place, this demographics, this employee size, turnover is this, history says this, what products is this, and then AI will bring you some sort of story behind it and say, what should we play with the customer or not. Going forward, banks can decide whether they want to disclose or not, but the question still remains.
Excuse me, hi, over here. Sorry, just to barge in to answer your question. I represent Origin Insurance Brokers, and recently SME-focused insurance, credit insurance has been launched now recently. We can take it offline, but what you said, having a cross-check, ref check on the buyers, that can be done, and the red flag is given by the insurance company after the underwriting is done, even before you can start the business with them. So that is possible. We can take it offline afterwards. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much for the panelists and speakers. I think so we can take some offline questions. We are getting late. And I'll request all the speakers to please join on the stage for the group photograph. And we conclude this inaugural session right now. I'll request Chandrakant Salunke also to join on the stage. Mr. Bhatt, Mr. Natum, Madam Shiva. Then BK Mishraji, please join on the stage to have a group photograph. We'll have a quick 5 minutes break for the tea, coffee, and 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes tea break. And then we can again rejoin here for the next panel discussion. Thank you.